Good afternoon, everyone. No, sorry, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the iceHQ Ice Rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Warrinjoy, Woiwurrung traditional land for the iceHQ Aussie Classic. It's finals day here at iceHQ. I'm Carl Brewer, and I'm bringing you all of the grand finals and consolation finals throughout the day's play. It's just about a little bit after 11:55, and it's the over 35-plus consolation final between the travelling Goons in the white and the Southern Lights in the black. Southern Lights with a very short bench by the look of it. I'm only seeing about 4 or 5 people there. They've got a lot signed in, but very few actually on their bench. The Goons, on the other hand, well, come over here from New Zealand, you're all going to play, and you're going to play every game you have. And so they are here in numbers. Watch out for the Goons in particular. Potvin was very effective yesterday, so too John Snell. And their goaltender Murphy had an outstanding game as well in the net for them. For the Lights, it's difficult to tell because they've got 5 people standing around their bench. I'm not quite sure how that's going to pan out for them. Could get a little desperate. But they've got everyone signed in, but very few of them actually here by the look of it. One of the referees today, Shana Godfrey, a legend of Australian ice hockey. She's a national team representative many years running, has played for the Melbourne Ice, the Melbourne Ducks, the Sydney Sirens, just about everyone you can imagine. And she's a bit of a legend here. She's also worked here in the CCM Pro Shop for a while. And we're delighted to have as one of our referees, Shana Godfrey. Thank you very much, Shana, for being with us this morning. Sorry, this will be afternoon in just a second. In fact, it's afternoon just now. Puck is dropped and we're underway. The clock starts. Face-off won by the Goons, played back there by Green. Dumps the puck behind, and Mucky in the end dumps it in. Mucky was very effective too yesterday, but racing out now to pick it up for the Goons. The goaltender comes out, but he's beaten to it. Just missing the empty net there, the Lights, as the goaltender came out for the first challenge, but didn't have any help to make the save. But the Lights couldn't finish it off as racing in to try and doing something here. Brendan Watson just lost a tyre, and it goes down the other way very quickly. The ice just freshly polished. Zamboni doing a great job, of course, as Zamboni operator. Today is Ryan Daisy, and he does a terrific job. As the Goons fire it across and high, it misses everything. It's picked up now. Lights looking up ice. They're going to have a short bench. It's going to hurt them in the second and third, as Jensen now is dispossessed by Cornford, who just skates back and picks it up now. Potvin went cross ice trying to find Green, but just wide of him the pass went. Potvin, Green now with another chance. There's room in front. He shoots. No, he chooses not to. He got onto his forehand, had a chance. In the end, he just put a little dribbler across in front, looking maybe for a tip in by Weichman or Wichman. I'm pronouncing that one right. But it wouldn't quite go. The goaltender there for the Southern Lights, Lawton Modolo, who's come up through our development program here at iceHQ and has done very well indeed as a goaltender. Lights with a 3-player bench. It's going to be desperate times for them, certainly in the third. With stop time, it's not going to add up. The Goons all caught offside. They have to go back in. As Snell had to just dump the puck in under pressure. As a result, the Lights with plenty of time. But they'll be looking for a slow game with the size of their bench. They managed to keep the puck in, though, and Fernando just chipped it in. It's on the stick now of Jensen, who tries to fling it in on the net. Got it there, but not with any great authority. Gets a second chance this time. Jensen flings it in on the net. Shot fired once more by the Knights. I think it was Jensen once more who fired it into the net, but it went wide as Martin now tries to play it up ice, but it's won out eventually by the Goons. Battling for it. Fierce against the board there, Weichman. But he was dispossessed by O'Sullivan. And now the Goons will play it out in what is so far been a fairly slow start. Understandable from the point of view of the Lights. They want the slowest game they can possibly get. But it's stolen now by Judge. Judge goes cross ice, finds his partner who gets a shot away. Nice pass to Snell. Snell's one-timer saved. A nice juicy rebound. They get a chance now on the cycle to come in. It's just not able to capitalise on it, though, the Goons on this occasion, but they will tidy it up through Cottingham, who's got pressure from Martin. Martin gets away from him. Goalie comes out again for the Goons and dumps the puck out. Quick movement there. So Granford now into the corner, beaten to it by Fernando. Fernando rims the puck high and around. They can't clear the zone, the Lights. It's still being held in by the Goons. All the D have pinched right in, so no one at home if the Lights get behind them. Luckily for the Lights there, a wide open net was missed by Johnson, who will be ruining that one. That was a point that was definitely had his name all over it. As they circle around now, the Goons trying to chip the puck in past Fernando. Got a foot in the way of it. Now the Goons defence set themselves up. Mackie doing a good job of just owning the space. And they'll play it up to Mackie. Mackie winds up, just decides to go cross ice instead of fire the shot. Potvin decides to fire the cannon eventually, but it goes wide. He was maybe looking for a tip in from Green. And now the Lights will look to play the puck out of the zone, but it's kept in Mackie, but eventually he's beaten Mackie. Now racing down the other way with a bit of speed. Watson gets onto his forehand backhand, chips. Goaltender gets a pad save in the way. Breaking back down the other way with speed. Here comes Wichman. Wichman's got Cornford with him as well. Elects to take the shot, but it deflects off the legs of an unnumbered player there for the Lights. We don't have 42 on the system. It's not that hard to get your numbers right, guys, really. But just a bit of body control there from Green, but it wasn't quite enough. Back they come the other way in Watson. Watson's got help. He's got Jensen skating down the middle. Puck goes wide of the goaltender. It's dumped in there by Bobber, who's wearing Fernando's number. Oh, golly, guy, could you please get your numbers right? Anyway, Lights now rim the puck around the back, but it doesn't get out of the zone. It doesn't clear. It only went to Porter. Fans on the shot in, but has a second dig at it and a third dig at it as it bounces back out. But they managed to keep the puck in the zone, the Goons. It goes over for a change. Shot fired into the slot. Nice little backhander. It's loose in the slot, but the goaltender, Modolo, pounces on in the end and makes it safe. So the Lights numbers that we're seeing here, quite misleading. Although it looks like it's been sorted out now, but they're still wrong. Hopefully that will improve throughout the game as we get a chance to get an eye on them. The scorers doing their best to try and sort out the mess. Puck is rimmed around the back by the Lights to try and clear the puck out, but the Goons have it on the stick of Ferda. Shot fired nicely there, but pad save Modolo. It was a good cannon launching there by Snell, but didn't quite get past the pads. Modolo got down on it quickly as the Goons keep it deep in the corner, but the Lights managed to clear it out. But it's going to be an icing, but the goaltender for the Goons says, no, I'm going to play it instead. Wants to get involved. Tried for a nice pass up to Harris, but went straight past him and got past everyone, and it's unusual for a goalie to ice the puck. In fact, you could argue that should have been an icing. But anyway, not on this occasion. He's flying past everyone with the exception of the last line of defence there was Judge. And Lord Modolo makes the save once more. No goal. Defensive face-off now for the Lights. It went up high, just pinching in a little bit and beaten to the punch to it was Mackie. He came in close. As a result, the Lights got a bit of an opportunity here. Shot fired, deflected into the corner by Murphy. Battling now for it behind the net. Lights end up with the possession. Try and put it into sight, but it's dumped out there. Mackie, who fired it across. Now it's on the stick of Judge, who can't quite hold it. Picked up Cornford. Cornford is committing a lot in attack. The Goons absolutely stacking the attacking zone. And now, as a result, the Lights, if they hurry, they've got 3-on-1 and potentially 3-on-none. Martin now with the puck. Just dawdles with it a little bit, a bit casual. Goaltender for the Goons. Desperate. He's sprawling around all over the place, and luckily for him, the Lights managed 3 shots and every single one of them missed the net. As now it will be played up ice by Green, who has been pressed by Bobber. That is Bobber Rakovic, who in the system is wearing number 28. But the goal is scored instead by the Goons coming back the other way. It'll get very interesting if Bobber Rakovic gets any points, because they'll be awarded to Adrian Fernando. Face off won by the Lights, back to Rakovic, who just chips it through, trying to find Jensen. Puck chipped back the other way now, the Goons with a little bit of room. Racing into the corner, Ferda tries to get it into the slot and does, but it's loose. No, it scored. I think that time tipped in this time by Snell. A nice cross-ice pass got into the zone. You'll see Snell comes down the middle, gets himself a little bit of room. There's a nice little opportunity and just a little bit of a backhander. Got it through the goaltender. And Snell gets a point on the boards as well. So 2-0 now, the lead to the travelling Goons. Lights looking to play the puck up ice. It's on the stick of Watson. Watson being pressed tightly there by Snell. Gets past him but leaves the puck behind, and we're going to have a penalty, and it looks like it's going to be on Watson. And we'll see what it's for in just a moment. And it looks like it's for a high stick. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but if your stick contacts the helmet of another player, regardless of intent, it's a 2 minutes in the naughty corner. So the lights will be on the penalty kill for the next 2 minutes, as Watson will have to sit it out unless the travelling Goons score a goal, in which case the penalty will then be wiped. Puck face off one nicely by the Goons. They chip it deep over into the corner, trying to find Mackie. And the puck back up high again for the Goons as they set up their power play. Nice pressure there from Martin, but it was wiped off there. Potfin did a good job on it. So the Goons being a little bit fancy there with the puck, just giving Martin an opportunity to sneak through and try and do something with it. Martin not showing up on the team sheet here either. He's wearing number 10, but there is no number 10. Maybe it's an 18 and you can't see it. But anyway, the jerseys do get caught up under their shorts and then you can't read their numbers. But that's how it works sometimes. Mackie, for the Goons. They try and set up their power play. They've had good zone time, but they haven't been able to convert it into many shots. Shot fired now through traffic. Bounces off the back of one of the Lights players. Looks like it's Marie Stella wearing a jersey that's not on the system. Judge now fires it across to an offside Goon on the stick there of, he looks a little bit concerned as to what that was. That's John Crawford just having a bit of a gesticulation, but to the puck, he was in the zone when the puck was passed to his stick, and that is offside. You can't argue that one. Snell will line up to take the face off for the Goons. Has a quick look back at his D-man there in Harris and says, I'm giving it to you, and does beautifully. Nice face-off win. Just under a minute to go on the penalty as Rakovic manages to get a backhander on it and clear the puck out and force the Goons to a reset. They will come back in. Cottingham tries to fire it across, finds the stick of Richmond. Richmond dispossessed, some pressure there by Martin. Puck comes across as the Goons look for an opportunity to get a clean break in. Lights doing a good job so far of keeping them out, but eventually the Goons get it into the zone. Just under 30 seconds to go on the Watson penalty. As the Lights look, they're going to clear it out once more, but it's kept in there beautifully. The Goons just keeping the puck in, but eventually Rakovic dumps the puck all the way down, and it'll be picked up by the Goons goalie, who takes it away from his own player. Reinhold passes it straight to Martin instead of one of his own players. Martin's going to be isolated because he's on the penalty kill. Just 8 seconds to go on the Watson penalty. Here come the Goons back the other way. They've got 5-on-3 if they're quick about it. Jensen stuck a stick out but couldn't get onto it. Racing into the corner. Penalty now over. Back to full strength. He's back on the ice, Watson. Puck was through the slot but not able to get a stick on it, Snell. And the goalie for the Goons will come out and play it again. Ryo was going back to get it. Looked like they were going to run into each other there briefly for a moment. But, no doubt about it, Shane Murphy likes to be involved in the play. Comes a long way out of the net to pick up that puck. We will have a face-off just outside the defensive zone now for the Southern Lights. Score 2-0 with 3 minutes and 32 seconds to play in the first. Referee just trying to make sure that the wingers are in appropriate positions. Face off, just chipped through there nicely by Green, who ran it down for his winger, trying to get a run down. Puck goes into the high slot, but the Lights will clear it out. Nice little tumbling puck, gets over the stick of everyone. Potvin saw that one go over the top, but the goaltender once more goes back to get it for the Goons. Green plays it back into the zone, perhaps unwisely, but gets away with it. Potvin was there, but so too Jensen. Puck goes into the corner now. It's on the stick of Rečkovic, who tries to clear it out of the zone. Doesn't get it out, though. It's now picked up by Mackie. Mackie circles, can't hold it. Keeps the puck in the zone, though. Potvin winds. Gets an unlucky deflection for him, and it's deep in the corner now for the Goons. He'll put the puck across the slot. Fired from a distance there, but Lord Modolo saw it coming. It was Potvin's shot. Finally, the Lights managed to clear the puck out through Green. Green gets away from Jensen and circles around. Has a bit of a look up ice, gets around. Sorry, there's two people wearing Jensen's jersey. That's incredibly confusing, but never you mind. It's the other Jensen. Puck goes through the slot. Now Jensen picks up the puck. And that's the actual Jensen, not the one who isn't Jensen, who puts the puck onto the other one who isn't Jensen's jersey, but wearing Jensen's jersey, who puts the puck into the corner. And they'll try and fire it across. It goes behind the net harmlessly in the end. Potvin picks it up now for the Goons. Looks up ice, rims it hard off the boards. They're standing still with a nice piece of puck movement there. And they get the puck backwards and forwards. The Goons, it's on the stick of Cornford. Cornford moves in, shoots and scores. Cornford there sailing down the middle with no pressure on him at all. All he had to beat was Modolo, and that's the highest percentage scoring position on the ice. There he is, unmarked in the high slot. And not much Modolo could do from that. That's prime scoring position there. If you give that space away, you're going to give away a lot of goals. So the Travelling Goons now up to a 3-goal lead from 17 shots on the net. Lights with none from 4 thus far. We've certainly seen Shane Murphy for the Goons get very heavily involved. This is a goaltender, very heavily involved indeed as Snell tried to poke it through, but it ended up on the stick after some to and fro of Martin for the Lights. The Goons looking to play the puck now up the ice, but it gets into little Martin again. Just trying to be a little bit too fancy with the puck, dispossessed. It's picked up by Wishman, who looks up ice. He's got to get around 3D. Can't quite manage to do it, but it's Snell instead going through, goes deep into the corner. He's got Weichman sitting in the slot, but this time the Lights have marked up and got good control. As they jostle for position in the slot, puck goes behind the net harmlessly. It's picked up Martin, looks up ice. Under pressure immediately from Ferda. Battling on the corner though. Martin manages to clear it out, goes cross ice, but gets away with it. But it is played up and eventually caught by Harris, who then tries to dump it in. He's forced deep into the corner. It goes behind the net. Now the Lights have it, trying to clear it out of the zone, but safely there on the blue line. The Goons doing a good job of keeping the puck in there. That was Cottingham. Puck now deep in the corner as it goes across the front. Very nearly there on the stick for Ferda, but it wouldn't quite go. Back the other way now with speed. Here come the Lights, but they're going to get cut off. So where the Goons have the advantage because they're going to have fresher legs. It's going to add towards the end of each period. It will help them as the Lights are going to really struggle with just 3 on the bench. If you've played any beer league competitions, you know the pain of having a very short bench. It's where you want a penalty, so you get a 2-minute break. But Weichman now with the puck goes into the corner. He looks across to the slot. He's got Ferda there, and so too Harris. Can he get the puck up to Harris, who's free? Harris eventually shut down, but the Goons fire a shot in through Cottingham, but it deflects off a body. Goes into the corner. Someone decides they don't want to hang on to their stick as here comes the Lights the other way. But this time they will fire the puck all the way down the other end. Choosing not to let it go for icing was Murphy. Decided to play it instead. Chips it up the ice. And at the end of the first, Martin trying to keep it in the zone, but it bounced over his stick. And we have Travelling Goons 2, Southern Lights yet to score. Goals to Cornford and Watchman so far for the Travelling Goons. Shots on the net. The ice definitely sloping towards the Southern Lights goaltender. Modolo doing a great job, but being exposed on a couple of occasions. As the Goons have had 18 shots on the net in the first period. And the Lights just the 4 thus far. We'll be back with you in about 20 seconds for the resumption of play. And we're just about to get underway in the second period of this tussle between the Travelling Goons in the white and the Southern Lights in the black with the rainbow colours. The score so far, 3 to the Goons. I figured it was that. To none to the Lights thus far. One of the goals, I suspect, was a violation goal through having an incomplete team sheet. We do need them to be done and correct, otherwise it makes everyone else's jobs incredibly difficult. As Cornfield gets over the line, Green lucky there not to have been pinged for offside. Tries to keep the puck in, but he's beaten to it by Jensen, who has to turn. Coming back now with speed, Cornford gets around Rakovic into the high slot, onto the backhander. Little tip in, and it's going to go. And the goal scored there by Judge, who was in the right place on the back door. There was a loose puck. Shot was fired in. And you can see it, high slot. Gets on the stick with a nice little backhand. And Madolo with a backhand, but with a pad save. But Rakovic not able to lift the stick up of Ferda, who just shoved it into the net. Score now 4-0 to the Travelling Goons with 11 minutes and 31 seconds to play in the second. Puck chipped through there by Fernando for the Lights, but it's on the stick of the Goons. They play it up through Green. Green tries to get past Rakovic and does. Judge fires from a distance. Madolo safely makes that one secure. Doesn't give up any rebounds. It's a bit of a gentle shot in the end. Another loose player in the sight. The Lights giving up that position way too easily. So the Goons taking advantage of that on a number of occasions. You've got to own that space in front of the net. That's where goals are scored from. You need a bit of ferocity. The Goons doing a good job of just getting there. The Lights so far not really owning the space in the way that they need to. See if they can pick it up throughout the game. This time they try and break through. Is chipping the puck forward, but Peyton Weichman ends up with the puck. Fires it. Stick lift there. Jensen stopped that one from getting through. Jensen now just loses the puck under her feet. It's coming back the other way is the Goons. It was Harris who flung it in deep into the corner. Is now trying to protect the puck with his body. Snell fires it on the net, trying to get a backhand. And nice defensive work there. Marie Stella, she owned the stick and owned the space. That's what the Lights need to be doing. Marie Stella, no stranger to that. But the Goons doing a great job of flooding that space. As clearing the puck now in the end, Watson dumped the puck down the other end. And it will go for an icing. And they will be brought back, and they can't change. So Jensen creeping over to try and get a change. Sorry, you can't. You have to come back. She looks pretty tired, does Shelley Jensen. They'll take their time on this change as much as they can, just to try and get a little bit more air into the lungs. And, blood into the legs, but puck played out now up to Cottingham on the point. He winds, he shoots through Noise. It's loose again. Madolo giving away that rebound. But this time no one on the back door to pick it up. It's picked up now Watson, who circles around behind the net, pressed by Weichman, but it's dumped all the way down as the Goons goalie comes out once more to play it. And this time isn't challenged by his own player. Goons try to pick it up the ice. Good pressure there, Watson though, who kept it in. But it's dumped down to, ends up on the stick of Cornford, who gets a shot away. Looks like it's stuck just under the pad there of Madolo. He lost sight of it. Yep, was caught in his pad. So Madolo a little bit fortunate there. It went underneath him. It was Cottingham who got the shot. Cornford, who got the shot. But Madolo managed to get a pat down on top of it and shut that one down. 4-0 the lead with 10 minutes to go in the second. The Travelling Goons loading up. They put the puck across. Shot from a distance is a goal. That's Potvin who flings that one in. Makes no mistake at all. I don't think Madolo saw that one coming. There might be a screen. We'll see this from the face-off. It's one and played across to Potvin, who had room. There's a beautiful screen. Yeah, Madolo did not see that one coming at all. There was a screen in front of him, one of the Goons players, right between his eyes and where the puck was. And the Lights gave him that room. You've got to push that guy out of the way. Not always easy. It's much easier to say than it is to do, but that's what they need to do. They've got to own that space in front of the net better, the Lights. Give themselves more of a chance in this game. Martin chips the puck in deep, but it's played back up now. Cornford has the puck. Got it to Judge. Judge chips it back for Cornford. Cornford with room, shoots through traffic. It went just a bit wide. May have just got a hand on it there, Madolo, and deflected it. Racing back now to pick up Potvin, who scored that beauty just a few moments ago. He looks up high, sees pressure, but gets around it nicely. Puck comes up to Judge. Judge gets it back to Cornford. And they shoot from a distance. It's loose again. I think that was Green who fired that one. Coming back now the other way with some speed, Martin, but he's surrounded by white jerseys. All he could do is dump it in. Fernando went in to try and pick it up, but couldn't get it either. And now it's on the stick of 42, who doesn't exist. He dumps the puck in. So you're just going to be mystery number 42 from now on. Lights get a shot, and they get a goal. I think. Yep, they've tickled the twine. They got it through the feet there of Murphy. And it looks like that was Adrian Fernando who got that one. It's certainly what it says on the jersey. I'm hoping that what's in the jersey matches what it actually is. Otherwise, my apologies to whoever is wearing that jersey. But Fernando, I think, with that one, straight through the 5-hole of Shane Murphy. Lights on the board, 5 goals to 1 so far. And Murphy goes back to make amends and plays the puck up the ice, trying to get an assist. Very nearly got one yesterday, blasting through sheer force is Snell. Snell pushed wide by Martin, goes backhand across the net. Shot fired. Furter was there, but couldn't quite get onto it. Nice work, Watson, just to lift the stick up out of the way. Puck goes now into the corner. Snell with it. Looks around. He's being pressed. Gets around backhand and twists. Gets around the back of Rakovic. And the puck ends up in the capable hands of Shana Godfrey. Multiple national representative here, and it will go somewhere for something. Not quite sure what she's doing. She's gone over to have a chat with the bench for the Lights and explain something. We'll have a brief break while the decision is made. Looks like we have a penalty on the Lights. We're just waiting to see exactly what's going on here. It may be an equipment violation. There is a requirement here at iceHQ that all players wear a neck guard, which is an International Ice Hockey Federation rule now. As the Lights, one of their players has gone behind the bench and is taking all his kit off, presumably to apply a piece of equipment. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. But anyway, it will be explained at some point. But that certainly doesn't help them. They're now down to a 2-player bench. It's going to really add up on their legs as the travelling Goons trying to keep the puck in there through Harris. But it's picked up there by Watson, who couldn't clear it. Furter floating around, calling for it. He's loose in the slot. Rakovic looking the wrong way as Furter is up clear. Stella looks at it. No one comes out to put pressure on Furter. They just let him sit back and let him take the shot as the Goons reset and reload. Waiting out on the point to pick it up is Furter. Furter just taps it in deeply, but Marie Stella will get that one instead. She has time. No forecheck from the Goons as they're changing. Stella goes across ice, perhaps looking for Jensen, but Jensen couldn't handle it, and that will go for an icing. And so no change there for the Lights. They will have to come all the way back and make the change. They'd be pretty tired. I reckon there's some heart rates bouncing off around about 450 BPM or so for the Lights players, being very courageous indeed. Tachycardia in 1, 2, 3. As Green lines up for the face-off against Watson. The Goons trying to set themselves up. Looks like they want to try and get the puck quickly to Mackie, who is eyeing off his D partner in Potvin. So let's see what happens with this face-off, and they do. They win it back to Cornford. Cornford goes in and gets it, gets around the movement of Watson, but he's pushed into the corner. Green now circling around, being pressed by Stella. They rotate the puck. Potvin couldn't get onto it. Puck went across to Potvin. Sorry, Rakovic couldn't get onto it. Potvin picks it up, tips it over the shoulder of Modolo, and we have 6 goals to 1 to the travelling Goons. You've got a feel for the Lights players who are here today. They do only have a 3-player bench, which means no one's getting a rest. And in non-stop time, that's particularly grueling. But you've got to show up and play. As Cornford gets through, chips it across, puck's loose, cleared out there though. The Lights just in time there. Martin got onto it. Now they play cross ice unwisely, and it's picked up by the Goons and Cornford. Cornford circling around in the corner, plays it back up. Mackie now with a room, gets past Martin, puts it into traffic. Stella got a foot in the way. Goons still with possession. They put it across. It's loose in the slot, but cleared out. Now they look to move it out of the ice, and they get it out of the zone. Martin now with a bit of room. He's got one to beat. Mackie watching him closely, just shepherds him into the corner as Murphy pushes the puck behind the net. Stolen there though, Jensen, who's circling around behind the net trying to do something constructive. It went high. There was a good chance there, the Lights. Just couldn't quite get onto the one-timer as they fling the puck back down the other way. Marie Stella will pick it up. She looks up ice trying to find an option. Goes cross ice. Wouldn't you know it gets intercepted. That never happens. Cornford gets the puck. It's a cross ice pass out of D. It's such a bad choice. Green now circles around, tries to get himself some space. Shoots. Just goes wide. Modolo saw it. didn't need to do anything. He's being screened again there by the Goons, doing a great job there. Wackman, a shot fires in again, goes around the back this time as the Goons crowding in front of the net, trying to put enormous amounts of pressure on Modolo, who's just trying to see where the puck is. Can they clear the puck out of the zone? No, it's on the stick now of Cornford. But it is stolen by the Lights and trying to get back down the other way. Fernando circles around. He did score that goal earlier. Going in now on the forehand. Just a nice little drop pass to Martin. Martin loses his footing in the process. Behind the net, though, getting involved Murphy, who flings the puck up around. Now it's picked up Rakovic. Rakovic dispossessed. Ends up, though, with the puck. He got a chance now. Flings it in. It went across the front, perhaps looking for Martin. Martin's now loose in the slot, but picked up by the Goons eventually. They were a little bit sloppy getting there. They should have fresh legs. They've got no excuses. They chip the puck up through the middle of the zone, but get away with it. Now racing to pick it up. It's a foot race between Weichman and Rakovic in the end, who clears it up ice. Gets Fernando. Fernando's 2-on-1 now for the Lights if they hurry. But nice defensive work there. Cottingham got a skate in the way and just shut it down. Now coming back the other way with speed. Furter. It's 3-on-2 if they hurry, but they don't. Furter goes into the corner. Goons looking perhaps just to set up a cycle through the slot. They crowd it in tight. There's 2-1 now in the zone. Not quite sure where the other D is for the Lights, but certainly not where they need to be. Now the puck is in the corner. Lights looking to play it out. They fling cross ice. Very nearly picked off there, but trying to make a move. Jensen racing out to say, not on my watch. Shane Murphy dumps it in. He still hasn't got a point, but he's trying to get an assist. Still trying to see if he gets done for an icing as well. Haven't seen a goalie get iced before, but Sven having a little bit of a picks up the puck, pokes it through, steals it, gets onto his forehand, looking for a tip in for Judge. Judge couldn't quite get onto it. Just a smidge too far out of reach for him. 4 minutes to play in the second. Cottingham calling for it up on the blue line. The pass errant. It gets a deflection off the foot of Martin. Now the Goons with another chance in front of the net, and they just trickle it over the shoulders of Modolo. 2 digs at it there for Judge. He looks a little bit embarrassed to have scored that one, but you've got to be there and own the space. You can just see Judge gets one go, and then it just trickles past Modolo and just oozes over the line for a goal. So we are now out to a 7-1 lead for the Travelling Goons. 38 shots on the net from 9. The Lights have had a couple of good chances this period. One really nice one a little bit earlier, but they just couldn't quite make the connection for the one-timer in the slot. It was a great chance, but the Goons have certainly tilted the ice towards the Lights' goal. This face-off this time won by Watson to Rakovic. Rakovic pumps it in, but it only ends up on the stick of the hard-charging Mackie. Mackie leaves the puck behind, though. He needed it. Jensen loses a footing. Porter now looks around. Just tips the puck up for Mackie. Mackie watches it go past. Two guys have a bit of a chat with each other. Green now dispossessed by some nice back-checking work and defence by the Lights. They can't clear it out of the zone, though. Firing the cannon was Green. He flung it in hard. Sorry, that wasn't Green. That was Potvin. Now the Lights with a 3-on-1 if they hurry. They take the shot instead. A good chance to put it across ice there, but make the goalie move. Rakovic now has a bit of space. He's being pressed by Cornford. Backhands it in, but Goons back there in numbers. And Green with no one to beat. He's got Stella racing back to try and put some pressure on him. He flings it from a distance. It's loose in front of Modolo. Modolo gets there and shuts it down. Stella doing the right thing, cutting off the angle. She was beaten for speed, but shut down the line, came skating straight back down the middle of the ice, forcing the shot to be taken from wide angle, and in the end, a routine save there for Lawton Modolo. Not that anything's routine after 40 shots on the net. They all start to get hard. Modolo is a fit gentleman. And he will be relishing the challenge. Face off this time won by the Goons again. Cornford tries to fire through traffic, loses his stick in the process. So it bounces off one of the Lights players. Cottingham battle for it with Martin. Martin still trying to battle away with it. They clear the puck out of the zone, but it's picked up by Cottingham, who gets around a poke of O'Sullivan, who's wearing Jensen's jersey. I think that's right. Anyway, Martin can't do anything with it. He's caught offside. A little bit lucky to get away with it in that instance, but here come the Goons back the other way. Cornford gets himself offside, though. Just raced a little bit ahead of the play. Snell was coming, but not quite as fast as Cornford needed him to be, and as a result, the offside will be played just outside the defensive zone for the Southern Lights, where you would expect it to be, as they reset. 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the second. 40 shots to 10, 7 goals to 1 so far. The Travelling Goons having a little bit of a canter at the moment. The face-off Over on the other side, Shana Godfrey calling it over. Sure there's a reason for that. But it escapes me. Face off this time won by the Lights, but not cleanly. And it'll be picked up by Ferder, who's pushed into the corner. Just chips it across into the slot, looking for the tip in by Weichman, but it wouldn't quite go. Another dig away at the net there, Snell. As the Lights look to play it up ice. They've got Martin up high, moving, trying to get the puck past Ferder. They get the puck up past, but doesn't quite make it to O'Sullivan. Now coming back the other way, the Goons have 4 in. Ferder tries to fling it in on the net, but getting a stick in the way was Jensen. Sorry, not Jensen. That's 25, Marie Stella, who's not on the team sheet. Now coming back the other way with some speed. Martin's got room. He's got 3-on-1 if they're quick, the Lights. They've done this before. Fernando's coming down the middle, but Martin takes a shot wide back of the net. A little bit of a wasted opportunity there for the Lights. Is now coming back the other way to make them pay. Wycombe just manages to stay on side, gets the puck, looks back for Green. Green's there with him, shrugs off the pressure of Martin, who has been incredible this game with almost no breaks at all. Trying to get the puck back to him, the Lights are, but there's bodies in the way for the Goons, and it was Green who shut that one down. He passes across ice, gets it onto the stick beautifully of Cornford. Cornford cuts across, gets the goalie moving, hesitates just a little bit, puck into the high slot, spinning and shooting. No goal though, Modolo the save. Now they wrap around, and the wraparound goes. John Corford on the wraparound, the puck was loose. Modolo made the first save. Wasn't much he could do about the clear out, and there weren't enough Lights back to shut that one down, and the wraparound goal goes in. Travelling Goons now 8 from 45 shots. Southern Lights with just the 1 so far. They had a good opportunity earlier. Martin and Fernando were away. They had a 3-on-1. Martin went wide and took the shot wide and ended up not getting a shot on the net. Rakovic now trying to get the puck past Cornford. Cornford riding through a lot of pressure from Martin. But it's Green blasting through and ends up Green managing to just stay on side. I'm not quite sure how he did that as Cornford comes through being pressured by Rakovic. Green unmarked on the slot. They're just looking at him sit there. Finally, Rakovic sees the threat and comes back to cover him up. Now going the other way with a minute to go in the period. It's Martin with room in front of him. Again, the Lights with a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1. Picking up now, Watson turns. Watson's got options, chips it. Puck's loose in the slot. Another chance for the Lights. Third shot flung in. It's still behind the net though. Eventually the Goons got back in time. Another great scoring opportunity for the Lights. Comes back the other way with just 30 seconds to play. And it's flung in hard and low by the Goons forward there in Weichman, but it didn't go. Green now has a chance. Deeks around one check. Looks up ice. He's got Harris, but the pass fanned and it went instead to Jensen. Jensen can't get much on it. It'll be chipped in by Watson, and that's going to pretty much end the period. Just 15 seconds now to play. Ferder calling for it on the stretch. Goes through. Rakovic will get there first. Looks up ice, plays it wisely, but none of the wingers back for the Lights, and ends up on Green's stick. Green with fractions of a second. He shoots and scores. Emery Green from the Alex Ovechkin Memorial scooting position. Modolo got a piece of it. You'll see on the replay. Just gets up onto... No, we're not going to see it on the replay. Anyway, bounce. It was... Modolo got a blocker to it, but not enough, and it went in. And with 1.9 seconds to go in the period, the Goons out to a 9-1 lead at the end of the second. Puck dropped, just tipped through. Rakovic gets the puck. He's got fractions of a second to use it and doesn't. And the puck ends up harmlessly in the middle of the neutral zone. With 1 minute to go before the third period, 9-1. Goals in that period, Potvin and Mackey with 2 each, and a 1 to Weichman and Cornford. I think there's a few others as well, which our system will catch up with in just a moment. Fernando and Watson and Martin have had some great opportunities for the Lights. They've had a couple of occasions where they've caught the Goons' defence up high and napping and created some nice breakaway opportunities, but they have not been able to capitalise on them. They've been forced wide and haven't used the pass across ice to get the goalie moving or skate across ice. You've got to get the goalie moving to create scoring opportunities if you don't have a screen in front of you, so that getting the puck moving laterally in front of the goalie or skating laterally in front of the goalie, these are your options. And the Lights just haven't been able to capitalise on that. But they have had a number of great opportunities, which given the short bench, they've only got 3 players on the bench. That's a hell of an effort from them. And they can all be enormously proud of their work rate, that's for sure. Just some It's the fundamental things that the Goons are doing so much better. They're cycling around and creating movement and chaos, and the Lights not picking up on that and letting players get loose in the slot far too much. It happens when you've got a short bench. There's not an awful lot you can do with it. But we will have one period to go. With 10 minutes to go, we will no longer be stop time. The goal differential of 5 or greater will mean there'll be no stop time for the last 10 minutes of this game, unless the Lights surprise us and score 4 goals in the first 5 minutes. It can be done. Anyone who's a Maple Leafs fan knows only too well that big leads are easily thrown away. The Lights will certainly be up against it with a very short bench that they have. It looks like they've only got 2 on the bench. No, they've got 3, but it is dire times for them indeed in this game. Sunday morning's not their thing, it would seem. It was very casually there. Weichman chips the puck back to his D. He was being pressured a little bit, but not very much. Puck goes in deep now. It'll be picked up by 42, who's not on the team sheet for the Lights. As now the Lights try and get the puck out of the zone if they can. A little bit of a backhand. Hoyt gets past the D, racing in now to try and get some pressure on it. Jensen, but she'll be beaten to the puck by Cottingham, who goes behind the net. Has plenty of room. Not much in the way of a forecheck, but Jensen does a good job. Forces the error, but it's picked up by Snell. He gets onto his forehand. Just nice little deep. Gets on his forehand again and shoots, but it goes wide and over the top of Modolo. Modolo was exposed there, but he managed to get enough body in the way to force a bad shot. And Snell's shot goes high. Snell with another chance, but can't get on it. It was just chipped out there beautifully. Nice play by the Lights defence on that occasion. Cottingham now circles around. He's got a little bit of forechecking pressure on him from O'Sullivan. Loops around, looking for Harris perhaps, who's sitting on the blue line, and finds Harris to stick nicely. Harris now goes up through the middle. He's got Furter with him as well if he wants to go a drop pass or a pass across Furter. Unmarked in the slot. Maurice Stella sitting on the back door just watching him. Got to mark those players up when they're loose. This time it bounces off Stella's pads. In their defence, though, the Lights, they are absolutely exhausted. They can hardly move. Modolo makes the save. 47 shots on Lawton Modolo thus far throughout this game. It's not a record for this tournament yet. We have seen games that have blown out to 60-plus shots on the goalie. Last night there was one that went to 60, one that went to 70, which is an awful lot of shots. Some of the contests a little lopsided. Modolo doing a great job. He has made 39 saves, and that's an awful lot of saves in a game. It's just been exposed on a number of occasions through some defensive lapses. It's going in now to try and do something constructive. Potvin fires across the front. Found Cornford back the other way. Come the Lights. One on two though. It's not quite going to work out, but they do have skating down the middle. Picked up now on the goalie who has to play. He's surrounded by black jerseys, but he manages to dump it out to Potvin. Potvin finds Green. Green Deeks is dispossessed though. Desperate back check there. Rakovic who shut that one down. Shot fired again though by the Goons, but they can't get a shot away. Firing down the other end as fast as they can. O'Sullivan gets it across to Martin. Martin on the forehand shoots. Goes over the top. Now it's in the corner and they'll try and break it out again. Rakovic couldn't keep it in. Cornford now has an option if he wants to use it. Decides to take on the defence. Just misses the pass. But it goes across the front. Modolo's lost sight of it, but luckily Marie Stella knew where it was. It's picked up now. Martin coming back the other way with room in front of him. He's got Potvin coming back to shut down the line, and you can see great defensive distance management there by Potvin. Puck still loose and being played. The goaltender plays it up ice. The goal wasn't called, so they've gone away. Cornford now. I think that goaltender, I'm fairly sure Murphy wants to get a point. As they wrap around, it's not quite going to happen. Once there's 3 passes made, the goaltender's pass is out of the play. Unexpected play there, certainly the goaltender with it in the glove, but not pressured, decided to go for a skate. Almost William Webb Ellis rugby. Let's turn a soccer game into a rugby match stuff. If you're a history fan of the game of rugby union, you'll understand that reference. Rakovic now picks up the puck and fires it up. There's 3 on none now as Jensen just tries to poke the puck in front. Sorry, not Jensen, that's O'Sullivan, but robbed by the work back there of Harris, who got to it in time. Harris has Ferrano written on the back of his jersey, but Harris in the score sheet. So I'm going to go with what it says on the score sheet, not the jersey. Harris puts the puck back across to his D partner. Picked up now, Shelley Jensen, not offside this time. Martin tries to get past the pressure, but can't. Cottingham had it. But Marie Stella for the Lights raced across, but on the stick now of mystery number 42, who plays a puck pass to Jensen. Jensen loses it in her feet, but does manage to chip it up, but only as far as Snell. Snell gets past the pressure gets a little bit of room, gets onto his forehand, chips it wide, went for Witchman. Witchman put it into the slot nicely, but couldn't quite make the connection there. It was a good option there for the Goons. As now it's on the stick, Harris will go and pick it up. He's under pressure, though, from Martin. Martin comes in tight, but nice job of taking the boards away. Martin doing a great job. There's lights loose in the slot. They're trying to get a shot on Jensen. This time was in the right place. Goons letting that space go a little bit too easily. Perhaps being a little bit complacent with an 8-goal lead at this point. There will be no stop time in another 45 seconds. As Wakeman plays the puck up looking for Harris. Harris leaves it for Furter. Furter across to Snell. Harris further down the middle. Pass is on. Nice option this time. Snell's pass was in the right place. The Goons just couldn't quite finish off. Now Furter with a chance. Shoots through traffic. It deflects off something random and ends up over the top of the net. And it'll be cleared out the back by Stella. But it doesn't clear the zone. Calling for it frantically in the slot was Judge, who fanned on the one-timer. And can the Lights clear the puck out? Stella goes cross ice, and wouldn't you know it gets intersected straight to Harris, who shoots. And the Lights very, very lucky to get away with that defensive error. Cross ice passes out of D. You'll never see them get intercepted, except you'll always see them get intercepted. It's such a bad choice. But anyway, things happen under pressure. And it's pressure that makes sport interesting. If we didn't make mistakes under pressure, the game would be boring. 9 minutes and 45 seconds to play. The Travelling Goons 9 to the Southern Lights 1 for 55 shots. Can they break one of the records? I'm not sure if it's actually been established. We haven't checked every single one of them on the score sheet, but I reckon if they get over 70 shots, that will probably be the tournament record. Be pretty close. Anyway, Cornford wondering what's going on, maybe wondering why the clock continues to tick, but it's a 5-goal lead rule. Okovic now for the Lights, tries to clear the puck out of the zone, but it's kept in there strongly by Green. Green has been outstanding. He hasn't scored, he's only scored the 1 goal, but has been outstanding for the Goons throughout the tournament. Little wraparound attempt there is swallowed up by Modolo in the net for another shot, 56 on Lawton. I reckon at this point he'd be reckoned to shoot it to me and let me catch it so I can set the record and bump my stats up. Remember that game where I had 150 shots on me. Got to remember it for something. Green taking the face-off against Watson. Face-off won by Green. It comes across Potvin with a screen. Shoots through traffic. Bounces off Stella. Rakovic trying to clear it out. Shot fired in the slot. Stella was there, though, lifting the stick. As the Goons continue to cycle around and create chaos. Rakovic now with a chance to clear the puck out of the zone. Generate some attack. He chips it in deep, but it's going to go for icing. The referee calls no icing because the goalie came out to play it. Still trying to get that point. Flinging the puck up ice. Puck played by a player, just getting on the rink. There's a bit of a technicality there, but it was okay. Potvin now circles around. No pressure on him as he has plenty of time, but he runs into his own teammate in Green. So going back now to pick it up and circle around Cornford. Cornford plays it back to his goaltender. Again, possibly trying to get a point. I think that might be the game plan at the moment for the Goons. They're trying to get the goalie a point. Harris will capitalise on that, but we're going to get an offside. Referee there, Shana Godfrey, in great position to see it. 7 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the third and final period. Goons 9, Lights 1. Lights with 17 shots on the net. They have had some pretty good scoring opportunities. They just haven't quite been able to capitalise on them. The puck now won through by the Lights, having to race back and get it though. Rakovic, who's going to be at tight pressure here indeed by Weichman. Now the Goons get a shot and a goal. Racing back down the middle. You see the player loose in the slot. Puck comes across. Just picks it up and gets around the check of mystery number 42. And the Goons take it out to a 10-goal lead. Sorry, 10 goals from 58 shots with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. That exposes a small error in our viewing system. The 10 overlaps on the shot count, so we'll need to fix our software. But anyway, I'll make a note of that. Modolo makes another save, sprawling in front of the net for his 61st shot on the net. So he's made 51 saves, Lawton Modolo. In any normal game, that would be an incredible shutout performance. But unfortunately, he's had 61 shots on the net. Not much you can do when he's been under that much relentless pressure. But his teammates, by golly, they owe him a beer. Puck cleared out of the zone, though, by the Lights. Martin cruising up to try and put some pressure on Cottingham. Goaltender comes out once more for the Goons, who flings it up high. Tried to get the pass to Harris, but it ended up on the stick instead of O'Sullivan. Weichman now steals it. Goes into the corner. He's got Snell in the slot if he can get it to him. Snell now will go and pick it up and plays the puck up to Furter. Furter fires the cannon looking for a tip in. He had a player there as an option. Now cycling in Furter. As they battle on the boards, trying to get the puck in the slot. It's moved out by Stella, who this time wisely goes up the boards. Cross ice pass out of D is once again intercepted. As the Goons take their time getting onside. In no great hurry there, Weichman. He was just ambling on back to get the change. Now loose in the slot, just fanned on the one-timer. It was there as an option. Couldn't quite get it, Snell. He was in great position, but just a little bit casual. Furter now picks it up, chips it back in, but it's picked up now, Lights. They've got 3-on-1 if they can get moving quickly, if they have the gas left in the tank. Flying through Martin, looks up ice. He's got options, goes cross ice to no one in particular. Unfortunately, it does end up on O'Sullivan's stick. O'Sullivan chips it across, goes around the back of the net. Seen there by Murphy. Shot dug away again by O'Sullivan. Can't get much control over it, and you can see there the Goons doing a good job of tying up the Lights forwards. Not surprisingly, given the amount of energy that the Lights forwards must have at this point. They've played almost non-stop for the full game, which is a huge ask with just a 3-player bench. And you're certainly not getting full line changes. You're never getting a proper rest. Face off one and flung in by Stella from the Lights. As Potvin flings it up trying to find some teammates and does. They all lose track of where the puck is though. Chipping it in deep, Judge. He was just looking for someone like Cornford to try and pick it up, but he wasn't there in time. Green now has it, spins around the check, but is stolen. Ends up now on the stick. They're going to get not quite offside as racing now Watson. Watson fires a backhand. It's loose in the slot if Jensen can get the shot away. Goaltender sprawled down on the ground. Jensen had a great chance there for the rebound, just couldn't quite finish it off. Desperately close for her. You see here on the replay, the puck comes across. Jensen in great position. If we get the replay for it. Just waiting to see if we get that one. No replay on that play. 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. We're well into the iceHQ final 5 as the Goons play the puck once more out of the zone and away. 1-on-none, Cornford. He's got no one in front of him. Will he take the shot on Modolo? Goes across, moves. Just tried to feint him away. Went glove side, but Modolo got in the way of that one and stopped it nicely. Puck comes back now. Potvin will have it. Circles around looking for movement. Sees not that much, but enough. Finds Green. Green tries to get around Rakovic and does. Just leans into him, holding the puck and protecting it. Puts the puck into the slot. It was a great option there for Cornford, but not quite able to finish it off. The Lights doing a good job this time of owning that space. You can see them crowding that space in front of that and making sure nothing's going to happen as O'Sullivan just chips the puck up and ends up on the stick of Mackie, who dumps it across. Mackie finds Potvin. Potvin back across to Judge. Judge has got Mackie driving into the slot. Mackie picked up, though, eventually the threat seen by Watson, who goes in to shut it down. Watson plays and ices the puck. No ice on that one. The puck played by Murphy. Murphy hoiks it all the way down. Again, still trying to get that point, but doesn't get possession this time. It's picked up by Watson, who circles around. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go as the puck bounces off the back of mystery number 42. I kept looking for that one, and it's just not there. But regardless, here come the travelling Goons once more. There's a loose glove on the ice. I'm not quite sure who's thrown their glove away. You need to drop both of them if you're going to have a fight. Puck in the corner now, being assisted along the way by Johnson. Puck comes across. Modolo touches the puck once more. Maybe that counts as a save. 65 shots on Modolo thus far, with 2.5 minutes to go. Can they get up to 70? That would be an interesting number indeed as the Goons look to play the puck up ice. That mystery glove has now been picked up and retrieved, so that's nice. Not quite sure whose it was. It might have been Watson's. Modolo makes another sprawling save, but no, they've called it a goal. You might see that one on the replay. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened, but we'll get the top down. So 66 shots on the net. Goals. Just under 90 seconds now to play as Harris will go back and pick it up, chip the puck up ice, gets it past Jensen, finds Snell. Snell with room. Snell gets onto his forehand, goes across backhand, moves the goalie and scores. That's a great example of how to get the goaltender moving, especially a goaltender who is absolutely exhausted. Snell cuts across the front of the net, goes forehand to backhand, and then just lifts it over the top of Modolo's stick and blocker. And a beautiful example. Get that goalie moving laterally and those opportunities will pop up. Goalie can't cover the whole net. No one's that big. But, Fernando chips the puck in deep, but again, just finding the stick of Murphy. Murphy runs it around the back of the net. Potvin went cross ice, and Cottingham went cross ice, and wouldn't you know, it's risky intercept, and that's what happens. No matter how much of a lead you have, that's just silly play. Cornford now with speed gets past mystery number 42, puts the puck into the high slot, shot fired, goes wide. Modolo the save. They're trying to find the puck. Where is it? It's behind the net. They look up ice. Potvin's free if they can get it to him. The Goons. With that 12-goal lead, 69 shots. Can they get one more in the last 15 seconds? Coming back the other way with some speed. Finding the lights, Fernando gets a chance, gets a shot. Puck's loose in front of the net, but the save is made by Murphy, and that's going to end it. So the jersey number no one should ever have. 69 shots on the net for the Travelling Goons for 12 goals. One goal from 22 shots from the Southern Lights. So Murphy did a great job. A lot of those shots, to be fair, on Murphy were from poor angles, but he did create a couple of good scoring opportunities. He did have to shut down a number of good scoring opportunities. Goals to Green, Snell, Mackey with 2, Potvin with 2, Cornford with 2, Wickman with 1, Furter with 1, and just missing out on points. Murphy was pretty close. But some great play. Fernando played well for the Lights, so too in particular Watson, who was incredible under a lot of pressure. Great effort there. Lawton Modolo managing to make 57 saves in one game, which is an outstanding effort. We'll be back with you for the Pro RA Constellation Final at just a smidge past 1 o'clock. Thank you very much for being with us for this coverage.